Hey, it's Kim, and I'm back for another week of 10-minute tips for your relationships. 10 minutes. So, this week, I want to delve right into a subject that is very dear to my heart. I want to talk about the blended family. Yes, you may know that blended family by what they used to be called the step family. Step families, your dad married my mom, and your dad brought his kids, like the Brady Bunch, that type of thing. But blended families are a little different these days. So let's jump right in. So some people may ask the question, well, what is a blended family? Well, a blended family is any household that includes a step parent or step parents, stepchildren, or even half brothers and sisters. Yes, that would be considered a blended family. So there are some statistics that I want to share with you as it relates to marriage and blended families and just families. 75% of marriages end in divorce. 65% of remarriages involve children from prior marriages. 60% of second marriages end in divorce. So that person who was part of the 75% are now part of a 60%. One of four blended families are not married, but they're cohabitating because they don't want to deal with that whole divorce thing again. And then one of three Americans are either a step parent, a stepchild, or involved in a blended family some kind of way. And then just one interesting thing is that there are more stepdads, they're more common than stepmoms. So, just because you found the new love of your life and you feel like this person is wonderful and you want to spend the rest of your life with them doesn't mean your children feel the same way. Right. Your kids may have enjoyed some of the family dates that you've gone out on. Maybe they've enjoyed spending time with that other person's children, but it doesn't mean that you marrying that person is something that they've been looking forward to. So let's get into how we can make this process a little easier if that's what you intend to do, is blend two families together. There are no guarantees that blending a family together is going to work. I mean, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes children take to the new partner coming into your life, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they, after time passes and we do certain things, children, they start to love and like that person. And you know what? Sometimes they don't. So there are some tips that I have for you today, quite a few, that may help you in this process if you find yourself in a position where you may be blending a family, or if you're already in a blended family situation and things aren't going just okay, but you want to work on it. Okay, tip number 1, take it slow. There's no need to rush. No need to rush into a new relationship. No need to rush into blending a new family together. If you're still in the healing process of your last relationship, your last marriage, you definitely want to take it slow. Because think about it, you're not the only person healing, so are your children. Number 2, know what your expectations are for this new family. I mean, really know what you're expecting out of it, and then don't have unrealistic expectations that you guys are just gonna all come together and be like that Brady Bunch family where he brought his 3 boys and she brought her 3 girls, And not that they didn't have, issues, but it just seemed like they just came together and everything was great. But it doesn't happen that way. I'm here to tell you, I'm from a blended family. And even though we had some good times, there were some times where things were not so good. Let me start here by saying, if you are in a serious relationship with someone and the two of you are really considering getting married, don't keep that person a secret from your children until you're ready to get married. That person should be integrated into your children's lives. Now, this is only if you're serious and you guys know that you want to take it to the next step. But you want to integrate that person into your children's lives, just one spoonful at a time. Let your children or your child get to know this person. So this person shouldn't be a big surprise to your children, come wedding day. Share this person with your children when the time is right so that that next step, happens a little easier. This is really important. Consider taking the entire family to family therapy before you marry, before you make that big step. I mean, I know, and hopefully you're going to go to premarital counseling, but it's a good idea to also add some family counseling if you both have children, you have a family, and you want to, make sure that everybody feels safe, that they can share what's on their heart. And sometimes doing that in a therapeutic setting is the best way. One thing that's extremely important, and that is to know your new spouse's discipline style before he or she becomes your new spouse. Yes, that is a conversation that you definitely have to have. If both of you are bringing children into this new family, or even if just one of you is bringing children into the new family, you definitely need to know how that person thinks about, or what they think about, or how they discipline children. That's very important. That's one of the things that causes that 60% of second marriages ending in divorce. Yes, you must know that you agree and that you're with this new person's discipline style. It's extremely important. Have those hot HOT family talks. What is hot? Honest, open, and transparent. Yes. Set aside a very open and comfortable atmosphere for you and your spouse and the children, where you guys can share what you're thinking, how you're feeling. Set the ground rules, because we want to make sure everything is done with respect and done in love. But have those hot conversations. It's good when you know what's on the minds of your family members. It's not good when, we're just kind of holding things in and we're not really sure what the other person's thinking or feeling, and we do what? We make assumptions. So have those hot conversations. And while you're having those hot conversations, really listen to your children's input. Yes, they have some really insightful things to share and to say about this new put together family, if you will, this new blended family. Sometimes children, their insight is a little deeper than we give them credit for at times. So listen to their input. They may know something or see something about this new person that, I don't know, maybe because you're so in love, you don't see it. The next thing I want you to do and really consider, I want you to consider forgiving your ex. Yeah. That is sometimes a difficult thing to do, is to forgive that person. And maybe, you left that relationship broken. You left that relationship hurt. But you still have a child, and the two of you still share this child. There's something you have in common. So if you can forgive that person, to the benefit of your child, that would make things so much easier for that child, for your child to endure having to go from this home to that home. One thing about kids is they are so sincere and dedicated to their parent. And Sometimes kids, they don't want to say, I had so much fun in daddy's house, especially if they think you're not going to like that. So if you work on forgiving the ex so that you and the ex can have a decent relationship, you can co-parent together, if nothing else, that would benefit your child greatly. This is something that's kind of dear to my heart, and that is maybe you can come up with some other titles besides, hello, I want you to meet my stepmother. Maybe we can come up with some other names that we can give these new people in our lives when we're comfortable doing that. I was sharing with someone that in my situation, I was almost a little bit forced to, well, I was given an ultimatum, either you call me Mrs. So-and-so or you call me, mommy. And I had to step back and go, no, that name was reserved for my mom because, my mom died. My parents didn't divorce, but my mother passed away. And so I said, but I'll call you this instead. So sometimes we can get creative, It's like you can say, oh, this is my bonus daughter, or this is my bonus mom. Something that's endearing, but not just my step parent or my stepchild. Try it. Another tip is spend special time with your child. Yes, your child is still going to require, even though he or she may be part of a bigger family now, or there's a new mother or a new father figure in the home, they still need that special time with you. So, carve out some time that you can spend with you and your child or your children, and then make sure that you always spend time together as a new family, doing things that help you get to know one another, that help you create, that atmosphere where everyone's not so awkward all the time. Really very important. And sometimes this can make or break blended families. And that is dealing with the holidays. Yes, holidays can be very sensitive times. So there are some things that you want to make sure that you're doing, so that the kids are okay, so that that other parent is okay, and we're not creating chaos in the family. Okay, so we may want to start blending traditions because, hey, maybe your new spouse comes with his or her own set of traditions for holidays, and you have your own traditions for holidays. So what if we blend those traditions together? Or better yet, why don't we just start some new ones? One thing that's really important, especially to children, is that they get a chance to split time with their parents during the holidays. Sometimes, parents have it set up where, okay, you take Thanksgiving, I'll take, Christmas, or you take Christmas Eve and I'll take Christmas, or we switch every year. Whatever works, however that works. But whatever works, make sure that we're being consistent because, children thrive in consistency. So whatever we're doing for the holidays, let's be consistent unless the child says, hey, can we do it different this time? Holidays, if we're buying gifts, let's make sure that we're being fair. Don't buy your kid 10 gifts and only buy the other children in the home or the other children that visit the home 2 gifts. Let's be fair. Kids feel important when they see that they're loved and valued. And so when you buy this person 10 gifts and you buy me 2, that makes me feel like I'm not as important as that other child. So make sure that you're doing just, even that doesn't seem important to you, but it's important to a child. So this is my last tip, but I have so much more to share. So we're going to have part 2 of this series on the blended family. But the last tip today is understand and be prepared that when you're blending children together, they are going to have sibling rivalry. Yes. It's definitely going to be something that will happen with children that are part of a blended family. Everyone's pulling for attention and everyone wants to be accepted, loved, and valued in the family. So expect sibling rivalry. Don't always jump in the middle of everything. Sometimes just sit back and listen and see where the conversation is going. And I tell you, sometimes kids can just work things out on their own. Now, one thing that will help with sibling rivalry is if everyone knows what the house rules are. So in the very beginning, when you guys are setting up household and you're bringing everyone together, talk about those house rules. Talk about how things go in this house, even if it's different at the other house that they go to. But these are the rules for this house. I'm telling you, if you do this, this blending the family thing won't be so hard. I tell you, we're at the end of this today, but we're going to come back next week with part 2 of the blended family, where we talk about building natural bonds instead of forcing them. It's going to be good, I tell you. This is the end of this part of 10 Minute Tips. You take care and you stay safe.